many years ago, in a very big forest, lived a troll named Chilik. Chilik was not like the other troll you may have heard in stories. Though this brutish, cruel creature who frightened travelers and steal children. No, Chilik had a gentle soul. Though his appearance was sadly strange. His skin was rough as bark, his ears hung long and floppy, and his eyes were large and sorrowful, like two dark pools reflecting the loneliness of his existence. Chilik had but one companion in the whole world, a small doll he had fashioned himself from scrap of clothes and stuffed with dry moss and lavender. He had named the doll Nechama. Nechama went everywhere with Chilik. She sat beside him when he ate his simple meal of berries and roots. She lay next to him when he slept on his bed. She perched on his shoulder when he walked through the forest path, and she listened. Oh, she listened when he spoke of his dream and sorrows. For Felix was terribly, terribly lonely, and there was a reason for his loneliness, a reason that weighed upon his heart like a stone. Elik, the troll, could not stop sneezing. From morning until night, from spring until winter, the sneezes came upon him without warning or mercy. Apchi! Apchi would cry. And when a troll sneezes, it's not like when you or I sneeze. Oh no. When a troll sneezes, the very air trembles and shakes. Everything within reach becomes drenched as if caught in a sudden storm. The wind that accompanies such a sneeze could lift a man's umbrella straight up into the cloud, past the treetop, beyond the bird, all the way to where the rainbow touches the sky. The other creature of the forest had learned to stay far away from Chilik. Oh, disgusting! Oh, the animals say, wrinkling their noises. Simply dreadful, they would say. Even the trees seemed to lean away from him. Though perhaps that was the only Chilik imagination born of too many lonely days. One bright morning in early autumn, when the leaves were just beginning to turn gold, Eli climbed a tall oak tree in search of acorn. Nechama, his doll, was tucked safely in his pocket, a little clothes head peeking out to see the world. The oak was old and very, very old, its branches heavy with nuts, and Chilik, hummed softly to himself as he climbed, thinking that perhaps today would be a good day. But he didn't see the tiny fairy who was among the branches. She was no bigger than Chilik thumbs, with wings like so small, and a dress made of spider silk and morning dew. She was gathering nectar from a late blooming flower that grew on the dark, on the bark, storing it away for the long winter that was coming. The fairy walked diligently, for winter is hard on the small folk, and she sang little song as she walked. Apchi! Apchi! The sneeze came upon Chilik so suddenly that he had no time to warn anyone. The entire oak leaf shuddered from roots to the crown. Acorn rained down like hail, and the poor little fairy was caught directly in the blast. drenched from head to toes, her wings so waterlogged she could barely fly. Oh, dear, cried Khilik, his voice full of remorse. He watched as the fairy struggled to stay aloft, finally landing on a nearby branch where she had to speak. Qui- to speak a quick drying spell just to keep from catching cold. I'm so sorry, Khilik said, and there were real tears in his great dark eyes. I truly didn't mean to harm you. I would never wish to cause anyone distress, but I cannot help it. I cannot control those terrible sneezes. The fairy looked at him, and being an of all magic and all wisdom, she saw past through his exterior to the calm heart that beat within. Poor creature, she said softly. I think you need to see a doctor, dear troll, someone who can discover the cause of your problems. And why, and why, and why, and why you sneeze all the time. And so she told him of a doctor who lived in a town beyond the forest, a learned man who understood elements both common and strange. Eric was so happy. His heart was like so happy. The next morning, with Nechama clutched tight against his chest, Eric made his way to the town. It was the first time he had ventured beyond the forest in many years. And the sight of so many houses and people made him feel small and afraid despite his size. But the town people were even more afraid of him. Watch out, they cried when they saw him coming down the road. Khilik, the troll, is approaching. If you wish to stay dry, keep far away. Do not let his sneezes catch you. Mother pulled their children indoors. Shopkeeper slammed the shutters. In a mere moment, the bustling town square stood empty and silent, as if a plague had passed through. Khilik heart grew heavier with each step. Even here, where he had hoped to find help, he found only fear and rejection. At last he came to the doctor's house and knocked upon the door softly so as not to frighten anyone. The doctor opened the door, took one look at the enormous troll, and standing in his doorstep and immediately tried to close it again. Please, Khilik called out desperately, the fairy from the forest sent me. At those words, the doctor paused. He was a good man, despite his fear, and he trusted the fairy judgment. So he went inside and fetched a large umbrella he owned. It was the size of a small tent and came back out. Very well, he said, his voice only trembling a little. Open your mouth wide. Khilik obeyed. The doctor peered in his throat and with his special glass examined his nostrils with tiny light. He even gave Khilik a gentle tickle behind his long floppy ears, which made the troll giggle despite his sadness. Finally, the doctor stepped back and stroked his beard thoroughly. I have discovered the source of your problems, he announced, and it's not your nose or your throat or your ears. Where then? Asked Khilik, hardly daring to hope. It is in your heart, said the doctor quietly. Your sneezes because you are lonely, and the body sometimes expresses that so what the soul cannot speak. If you had friend, true companion to talk with, and laugh with, and share your days, the sneezes would cease. Of this I am certain. Khilik hopes trembled like old bread. But how can I make friends, he asked, his voice breaking, when everyone runs away from me? The doctor had no answer for it. It was a question as old as sorrow itself. Khilik returned to the forest, walking slowly, his head bowed. The autumn winds whispered through the tree. He found a fairy waiting for him in a clearing where the last wildflower bloomed. He told her that the doctor had discovered she did not speak for a long time. She simply sat on a mushroom and thought, her tiny face serious and sad. Then slowly a smile began to spread across her features, a smile like a sunrise breaking through the cloud. There is a old magic, she said softly, that has not been used for many years, and I've only the strength to perform it once in a lifetime. She flew up to where Nechama sat in Hilik's palms and touched the doll's forehead with a tiny wand. Abracadabra, she whispered. But it was not silly word, it was ancient, but full of power, and the very air shimmered like she spoke it. Before Hilik's wandering eyes, Nechama began to change. She grew larger and warmer. Color flooded her closed cheeks. Her button eyes became real, shining with life and love. In a moment where a doll had been, now stood a young girl with kind eyes and gentle smile. The girl who had been Nechama looked at Hilik, and there was recognition in her gaze. She remembered everything, every conversation they had shared, every lonely night, every moment of the companionship. Hello, Hilik, she said, and her voice was like music. Ah, phew! Hilik sneezed in surprise, and her Nechama was drenched from head to her toe. Her dress soaked, but she only laughed, a bright, joyful sound that the forest had never heard before. I don't mind getting wet, she said, wringing out her hair. I don't mind being blown up to the rainbow. I love you, Hilik. I always love, even when I was only clothes and stuffing, and I always will. And with these words, something miraculous happened. The tightness of Hilik's heart, chest, the tightness began to ease. The constant tickle is not faded away. He took a deep breath and then another, and no sneeze came. He was not lonely anymore, and so he did not need to sneeze. Time passed as always does, the autumn turned into winter, and the winter is to spring. Hilik and Nechama built a proper house together in a sunny part of the forest. The other creatures, seeing that Hilik no longer sneezed, began to venture closer, first the bird, then the rabbit, then the deer, then they discovered that the fairy had always known that Hilik was kind and gentle and had great capacity for friendship. On Hilik next birthday, the first birthday he had ever celebrated with others, the forest was full of joy and laughter. There was music and dancing and a cake made from wild honey and forest berry. All the creatures came to honor him, and even the town people, hearing the celebration, sent gifts and kind wishes. The fairy sat on Hilik's shoulder as she had done once before on a very different day, and she smiled to see how happiness and had transformed him, and his eyes were no longer crying, his voice no longer trembled with loneliness. You see, she whispered to him, through perhaps she was speaking to herself, the greatest magic is love. Hilik, holding Nechama hand, while surrounded by friends, both old and new, knew that the fairy spoke the truth. Happy birthday, Hilik. Happy birthday.